G'day Facebook land. So I'm back for my second video on my Facebook live video challenge with media theology. And so today what I thought I'd touch on is like why media theology? What's media theology kind of stand for? What's it about? So probably the best way to start is tell you about a little thing called media ecology. Okay, so when I was in my studies, one of the things I come across was a number of people that were working in this area of looking at media, communication media, things like the television, the radio, anything actually, like even things like cars as media, things like that. And what they did, instead of looking at sort of what was the content of that media, they're actually looking at the media itself and questioning, well, how does that media shape an environment and change our world? So obviously, if you look at us now, we've all got smartphones and we're all connected to the internet like 24/7, whereas before we weren't. So we have this whole new set of behaviors that we do, really irrespective of the content that we're engaging with on a particular platform or whatever we're doing. So this is media ecology. It looks at media as environments. And so in that space, and I'll probably, these are some of the guys that influenced my thinking, and so I'll definitely be sharing some stuff of what they had to say. Guys like Marshall McLuhan, you've never heard of any of these guys, that's cool. I'll tell you a little bit about some of them. Neil Postman wrote a good book called Amusing Ourselves to Death, really worth having a look at. Also guys like Jacques Ellul, he's a French guy. Walter Ong, he was a Jesuit priest, really looking at this whole space. And so I kind of got drawn into that space. But the one thing I felt that was somewhat missing, even though a number of the guys that were influential in that space were people of faith, so Roman Catholics, Jesuit priests, people with Jewish backgrounds, things like that, I really sort of thought, there's something here where it goes to another level, and how these environments shape the way we understand God and the way we understand the world and the interaction between those things. And so that's kind of where I've adopted the whole media theology. Instead of ecology, I've switched that out and chucked in media theology. And so I guess my catchphrase, my catchline is it's all about this intersection of faith, technology, culture, communication, education, all of these kind of things that blend together. Now, when I talk about things like education and things like that, it's not just about formalized education. So it's even thinking about, how something like Hollywood, for instance, as the movie industry, educates us on what the world's like and how the world should be and where the place is for God in that world and those kind of things. And so we're being shaped by all of those things and learning from those things as we go along. So that's why, that bridges over into culture. So I love talking about what I call cultural artifacts, which is essentially, I think I picked that term up from someone else, I can't claim it as my own, but the sense of everything that we make has an influence on the culture around us. So that might be a small influence if it only hits a few people, but it can be a larger influence if it reaches beyond one or two or a smaller circle. So that's what I'm getting at with media theology. I'd love to have you throw a comment, a question, ask me anything in that space, like anything in the intersection of faith, culture, communication, education, all those kind of things. That's what I'm going to be spieling about. So I'd love to hear your questions. And look, what I'd really love is if you could share this video with someone else who you think might be interested in what I've got to talk about. That'd be just make my day. I'd really love that. So that's it for today. If you haven't already, feel free to jump over and check out the blog. I'm also uploading these videos to YouTube just for the sake of keeping them, so you can check them out there as well. All the best. Don't forget to comment, give me a like, and share this video with someone that you know. So that's me for today, and let's hope